Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Tuesday, guys. Want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well this season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Tuesday, chosen ones. So, guys, I want to speak to you guys about a couple of different downloads. I want to speak in regards to two things you can never compete with when it comes down to. We'll talk about that. Two things that you cannot compete with and you want to run as fast as you can. And then I also want to speak on it's time to take off of the mask, and why is it that so many people right now are realizing in this season that nothing else matters other than a relationship with God, their purpose and their calling, family, etc. Like there's a shift and people are now waking up more and more. I mean, many people have been woke, but many people are now waking up to what truly, truly matters. We're going to speak about that. Let's speak really quickly about two things you can never compete with. Now, there's a lot of things, if you will, but again, I'm going specifically on two downloads. Number one, you can never compete with a woman who a man is in love with. You can never compete with a woman who a man is in love with. You can never compete with a man who a woman is in love with. And I also want to speak about you can never, ever, ever compete with someone who is dealing with the spirit of lust. The spirit of lust. All right, so let's start with that really quickly. Let's start with the spirit of lust. Now, again, we're not speaking flesh per se or lack of discipline. I mean, that does tie in, but I'm speaking specifically about the spirit of lust. Here's the thing. When you are dealing with someone who has the spirit of lust, there are things in the physical realm that will show, but more than anything, your spirit, if you're tapped in, will alert you. Some examples in the physical realm can look like, have you ever been around somebody? I've experienced this, and it's the most turn off thing. You ever been around somebody and it's like they have no control. It's almost like they're fidgety. They gotta touch you. It's almost like they're losing their mind, that they can't, like, it's like there's no control. There's no control. Where, I mean, flesh is flesh. We can desire things, but you still have your flesh intact, meaning you can have the thought, you can have the attraction, but you dominate what your flesh is feeling. A person with the spirit of lust, these individuals will sleep with anything and anyone. Take it how you want to take it, including your children. Take it how you want to take it. Let me say potentially. Take it how you want to take it. When you are dealing with a person with a spirit of lust, you will never, ever be enough for them. You can sex them. Well, it is what it is. We're all adults here. It's not Sunday. We're all adults here. You can sex them 37 times per day. You will never be enough for them. And I don't care how good you are. You will never be enough. They will always want more of something. They will always crave more of something. And also with this spirit, you have to be very careful, because at some point, enough can never be enough of one thing. So let me try this thing. You yourself cannot tame that spirit by more sex, by more compliments, by being more attractive, because it has nothing to do with you. That is something internal that the individual have to work on themselves. That's between them, God, the Holy Spirit, etc. Discipline, semen retention, etc. Right? Again, I'm just the messenger here, just getting where you fit in. There's absolutely no judgment, because I feel as individuals, we all have our things, if you will. So it's not about judgment, if you will, but it's more so less about using wisdom and discernment. When it comes down to be a chosen one, there are certain things that you cannot allow in your life. Again, there's a whole list of many other things, but I'm going again specifically on the downloads. There are things that you cannot allow in your life. I don't care how much you like a person. When the Holy Spirit have already shown you and convicted you about something within the person, it is your wisdom that must say, no, you are setting yourself up to be hurt. You're opening yourself up to spirits now being transferred over to you. Now, all of a sudden, you're not even the one who have like this crazy drive. Now, all of a sudden, you do. You're opening yourself up to certain spirits and you may not even realize it. These are this is a very dangerous spirit and one that you don't want to play with. The other, you can never compete with a person who is in love with someone else. This is for my brothers and for my sisters. If I'm honest, just being transparent, both, I was going to kind of just relay it back to my brothers, like, a man in the spirit of lust, but it's truly not true. It's just not for men, right? And I was going to also, I guess for my brothers, because, and again, it's never one size fit all, if you will, in anything. But I think I was kind of leaning more towards my brothers because I think men love more deeply. I don't think, again, this is not for everybody. This is not for all. I don't think they open themselves up to love as frequently as women kind of move on and do. But when they do, one, maybe two times, who knows, they love more passionately, more deeply. And so it's more rare that they really fall in love. And so once something happens, it didn't work, divorce or whatever, then they kind of just build this shell up like I'm never in my life opening myself up. I'm just going to straight have everybody in rotation from this day forward, etc., etc. So I think that's why I've been kind of gearing towards them. But then, the download was like, no, speak on both sides. There are signs in the physical realm, of course. But again, your spirit as a chosen one will always alert you. A few things in the spiritual realm can look like, and I've experienced this. Matter of fact, we're great friends now. Well, he blocked me. Actually, we blocked each other. I unblocked him. I'm still unblocked. But the point is, we're still cool. We're still cool. If you're listening, sir, I'm sure you are. But we went on a dinner date. This was years ago. Let me be clear here. Years ago. And even though we had a great time at dinner, the entire conversation, well, I won't say that's not fair to say. Maybe 70% of the conversation was about his ex. Not in a good light. So here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's in a good light or a bad light. The fact that they're still having a conversation, because see, when you're done with something, there's no conversation about it. I'm not sitting around talking about my ex. That thing is done, honey. It's been processed. It has been released. God bless you truly, right? You're not sitting around with other people having a conversation about how your ex hurt you, what they did, what they didn't do. They're trifling. They're this, that, and third. Honey, that thing have left your spirit when you are fully healed. But when you're around a person and all they're talking about is an ex, and guys, let's be real. Many of you guys, including myself, have that ex that you, too, at that, if you're listening, sir, that you... Kizzy, could you be serious? Please. Oh my goodness, God. Okay. We all have that ex or two that if you pick up that phone now, it doesn't matter what they have going on. They will drop everything just to be back with you. You all, or some of you, most of you, have that person, or you know who that person is. Sir, please don't call me because ain't nothing happening. I'm just making a point here. So I make this point for that point. If you know you got that kind of leverage still on a person, then what about the other person? So now you know this, the spirit have told you, have confirmed to you, your spirit tells you because you know, because see, when a person, especially a man, is in love with someone else, you can never compete. You will only be the safety net. And please don't ever, whatever side you're on, don't ever be somebody's safety net. Don't ever have anybody thinking or knowing that they can do whatever, they can leave whenever, and anytime they come back, you're available. Please don't ever be that person. Because you will be in the net till Jesus come home. Please don't ever be that. Why do I hear somebody swinging in the net? Please don't ever be that person. I don't care how more beautiful you are. My brothers, I don't care if you have more money than him. It doesn't matter. If someone is, again, hear me, in love with a person, even if that thing didn't work out, even if it haven't been years ago, you cannot compete. You will never be enough. And it has nothing to even do with you. So now here you are thinking you're not beautiful enough, you don't have enough money, you don't have this, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. The best thing you can do if you're in this situation is to release people, ask for strength and grace, right? Because who knows, maybe you've already developed a soul tie if you're in this situation. Ask for grace and strength to release this person, because this person has to go and process that stuff on their own. See, here's the issue with a lot of people. Because healing hurts, rather than people sit in a season and allow the Holy Spirit to heal them and direct them within their healing process, they jump like rabbits to the next person. Because if we're going to be honest and real and transparent, it's more easy to mask pain. Whatever that masking look like. Drugs, alcohol, sex, new people, sweets, porn, whatever you got going on, sir, ma'am. You know, one of my good brothers on here emailed me and told me every time I say sir, like before I even say what I'm going to say, he's already convicted, and he just start laughing because he know is some kind of conviction coming. It's not me, bro, because I don't know half of you, most of you guys, probably 95% of you guys from a can of paint, right? I don't even know you. It's the Holy Spirit convicting you, not me. I don't know what you got going on, sir. You can never compete with the spirit of lust. Again, you will never be enough. They will crave anything walking, like my dog. You can never be enough for a person who is in love with someone else. And here's another thing, because I feel this is coming up. Maybe this is a question for someone. What if the other person have already moved on, meaning the other person is now married, et cetera, where the person don't have access to even return if they choose to? Well, I mean, that's a different scenario in the sense of they won't leave you for the person, if you will. But if they themselves have still not processed that hurt, that pain, that trauma, put in intentional work, intentional time, again, which most people won't do it, right? Because it requires you to sit in a season. Then they're going to keep self-sabotaging. Because if they haven't healed, they're still dealing with trauma. Even if they were the one at fault, meaning their actions caused the person to leave them, it's still trauma. So you're going to keep getting trauma responses. Now, every time you're going to Walmart, they're accusing you of cheating because they know what they done did to their ex. Now that because that trauma haven't been processed, honey, they're in survivor mode. They're going to hurt you. They're going to self-sabotage. They're going to cheat on you. They're never going to fully open up to you. No pun intended. Because how can... You know what? Next topic. It is time to take off of the mask. A lot of people are truly now realizing more than ever now that the quote unquote a dream was never the dream. All the lies of the rat race, the hustle, right? Just go to school, get a job, work a 9 to 5, probably longer, right? Here's 2 days off on the weekend just to quote unquote rest. Do it all over again every week. Maybe one vacation a year, which most people can't even afford. Go to church on Sundays. Rinse and repeat. Retire at what, 60, what is it, 65? I don't even know. Retire at 65 when your knees are, most people's knees are already going. You can barely, retire for what? Where are we going? Because, I mean, you can barely even live on the amount of, like, retire and do what? Sadly, most people still have to work after retirement. So the point I'm making is all a lie. And people are tired. People are depressed. People are trying to figure out if they even want to be here. I saw a post just before I started this recording. And the post went viral. It was from a gentleman. And I mean, he wasn't suicidal, if you will. It's just more so less of, he was saying that if he had a how did he word it? Because I don't want to misquote him, but more so less like if he had a choice to return to, or if he had a choice to choose what he wouldn't want to be here. But he was very, very confident in knowing that he's not suicidal. But other people, thousands in his comment sections, really seem to be truly some suicidal, and then some more so less like, if I didn't have children, who would have to worry about me, right? If I didn't, and I'm looking at these comments like, my God. I mean, you know, people are going through things. I mean, just in general, like people in your everyday life, you know that people are struggling. People are going through heartbreaks. People are going through financial struggles. People are going through maybe family issues, things like that. But you know that a lot of people are really struggling internally. And there's so much that's coming into play with that. It's especially with my chosen ones, because we're spiritually sensitive, and my empaths, you feel all the hurt, all the pain that's going on all around the world. Now, this is why personally, I don't watch the news. Most people know my boundaries on don't send me like things that are really tragic, because listen, as chosen ones, in empaths, you have to be very, very, very careful what enters your spirit. Someone sent me something the other day, and this person wasn't aware of my boundaries, if I'm honest. But me opening that link, and it was something. It almost shut my entire day down. I was like sad the entire day, because as chosen ones and as empath, you carry this stuff. We're spiritually sensitive. It's innate in us for our purpose and our calling and how God uses us. So we're feeling all of this heaviness is going around in the world. Like people are so now some people, I don't know, some people say they felt the shift after the quarantine, the coronavirus, like during that time. And they feel like life have never returned to normalcy after that time, if you will. I guess maybe I can agree with that. I don't know. I was probably the rare one who really, because I'm so introverted, I enjoyed that time. Of course, not all the tragedies that happened, but just that time where you're stuck in the house and you don't deal with all this chaos of the world. So some people feel as if the shift happened after that. And the more I think about it, I'm like, you know what? I don't know. You guys may have a point. People don't even look at each other anymore. It wasn't like that, but there is a shift in how people deal with each other. Like now when you go in the store, now I make it my just me being the bubbly personality that I am. Right? I'm just that person. I've just never met a stranger. So if we're on the same aisle together, I'm going to spark up a conversation. Hey, how are you? Right? But what I notice is this. If you don't speak to people, they won't speak to you. It's almost like people are terrified of each other because it's like you don't know what the other person is thinking. You don't know what kind of day they're having. You might put the icing on the cake to like really have them crash out because people are dealing with so much. But I noticed that each person I smile to, they smile back. Each person I speak to, it's almost like they immediately like, oh yeah, yeah. It's almost like they're waiting on you because they don't know how you're going to react. People are walking around lost, hurt, confused, full of despair. You can see it in people's eyes. We are in different times. There's no doubt about it. I've also read many people feel like when they went to a different country, if you will, where life is more stressful, that the energy is different there. So I don't know if have any of you guys relocated recently? Like I've heard a lot of people say that the energy that we used to have, if you will, prior to all this nonsense and government issues and things like that, that they found it now in other, like they're living that life, but in other countries now. So could it just be the country and everything that's going on in the country? So I think all these different things tie in. But ultimately, what I feel and what the download was about is because we are in the last days and because God is stationing us and getting chosen ones, whoever, I guess, answer the call, prepared for destiny calling and destiny assignments in these last days. The scales are being removed off of your eyes. So you're now realizing that money doesn't matter. All the materialistic things that when you were 21 and you thought like if you got your own house, you got this, a certain kind of car, a certain kind of this, certain kind of woman, it would all make you happy. And now you're realizing now in your 30s, your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and you're realizing none of that stuff matters. Now, let's be clear. You have some people, and respectfully so, who ignorantly still think that. Ignorantly just meaning they just haven't lived long enough yet. They haven't been through enough seasons to drag them to filth yet. Because when you've been dragged to filth in these demonic attacks and, just really dark, difficult seasons, and when you come up out of these things, this is when you realize none of that stuff matters. Where are you going to take it? If God calls you home tomorrow, where are you going to take it? That stuff is going to be there. People are going to live in it. People are going to grieve you and mourn you for maybe weeks, months, maybe years, and life continues. So because the scales are being removed, we are now realizing that all the things that we were told and taught were lies. So it's a spiritual awakening. Again, nothing new age, if you will, just meaning I'm speaking about shifting from the mindset and the pride of what we thought we wanted and what we did. And now we're realizing none of that stuff matters. And you know what also will bring you to that point too, in addition? When you've been on your journey doing things your way, meaning your pride, nobody can't tell you nothing. You really like everything it's not even about purpose and calling. It is all on what you want. And again, there's nothing wrong with our own goals, dreams, and desires. The whole point is now we're realizing that stuff, honey, if God don't okay it, ain't nothing happening. Now we can get things out sheer determination. I've had both sheer determination and doing it God's way. One thing I will tell you is this. Sheer determination, you're going to have to steward that thing on your own. And it is very, 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 very stressful. Also, it may not be longevity. But when you do things God's way, meaning you're in alignment with purpose and calling, and you're moving within purpose and calling, God stewarded it for you. There's a guard gate around it, meaning you can't lose it until God says, boom, season shift, if he says. But even when season shift, there's going to already be something else in place to cover and protect you. There's grace behind it. And so it's not to say that it's not stressful, but it's a different kind of stress. It's stressful, but then it's like You don't fight the battles. I'll say that. Whereas you're going to fight the battles. You're going to fight. Things that come up against you, you will fight the battles. When we're doing things God will, we don't fight the battles. We just stand. And God fights for us. And then you start to see everybody who's up against you, they drop. They drop. They drop. They drop. No matter how much they try to hurt, harm, convict, judge, destroy, they drop. They drop. They drop. They drop. They drop. You're protected. You're guarded. You're a chosen one. He needs you. This is why alignment is crucial. This is why alignment and obedience to your instructions and your convictions is crucial, because you're covered. They can't touch you. So I think the best thing for some people who are dealing with this fog, if you will, also some people it could also be, remind, this is also in addition, right, to the download, seasonal depression. You guys know once fall comes in, there's a shift because the sun is not out. Speaking of that, if you're someone who deals with seasonal depression because of the sun, listen, please, I'm telling you guys, vitamin D is a game changer, especially for my darker skin tones. Vitamin D is a game changer. Now, I get the shots. Because with the shots, the vitamin shots in general, is like 90%. It gets into your system 90%. Well, with pills, it's coated. You got to go through your whole system. It's like, I think it's like 25, 30%. So the shots are more potent. Vitamin shots are more potent. But check your vitamin D levels and definitely your magnesium. Game changer when it comes down to seasonal depression, because the sun is not out so frequently. But I think the best thing truly is for people to truly, if you've walked away and you're out of alignment with your purpose and your calling, maybe you put it down for, maybe you went through a very difficult season. Maybe you went through a divorce and you just don't have the drive and the motivation, but truly to get back in alignment with purpose and calling, right? Because we know that's what fulfills us. There's nothing else that's going to fulfill us right now. People can't even fulfill you. This is why you don't even want to be bothered with people right now like that. God is doing something. So he's emptying us out of all the things that we thought. All the things that we thought we wanted, all the things that people have been programmed to believe, he's emptying you out. So a lot of people are having a hard time sitting in this feeling right now because you feel empty, you feel full of despair, but really you're where God needs you to be. And then once the season shifts, you'll start to feel other things implemented into your spirit. And these things are going to be things that are aligned with your purpose and your calling. Meaningful things, humanity, things like that. Then you'll start to meet your soul tribes, your God-ordained relationships. These relationships are fulfilling. These are not like your regular relationships. So you just got to ride this wave because it's going to all be restored. But a lot of people are going to tap out right now because they feel empty, full of despair, depressed, etc., and they feel like, better is coming. You just got to ride this wave. Pray for staying power. Pray for staying power. Another thing, don't think too far ahead. This is difficult for a lot of people, including myself, one of these people who live in their heads and you got to try to figure things out. Honey, it's just not going to work. We're not going to figure anything out at this point. We're not going to figure anything out. Stay in the moment. Stay tapped in. Get in nature. Get to your secret place because God is giving out details like for each day. Like it's almost like he's not allowing you to see. Now you many people have an idea, right? You kind of already know the land you're called to, what you should be doing. But I'm speaking about the details of it. What day, who's going to open the door? No, child, not right now. Probably never. All we know is that the promise is real, but we don't know how we're going to get there. Stay strong, guys. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.